Friday afternoon, Berchtesgaden, Bavaria. We're at the oldest artificially iced track in the world, Königssee, just outside the sleepy Bavarian town. Ready for the second deciding heat of race 3 of the Women's Bobsleigh World Cup. Martin Haven and John Morgan in the booth after an entertaining first heat. And with 2 different winners to the first 2 races this season, John, looks like we might have a repeat.
Jamie Grubel-Poser and Lauren Gibbs, United States. Jamie had a lot of problems on this track last year, crashing 3 times. But here in the first run, she put herself in a good medal position, got through that albatross on the bottom and gave her problems last year. She's in a bronze medal position. Her teammate Alana Myers not here. Alana's home resting, dealing with some concussion syndrome. But Elfie Williamson, the Belgian Bullets, well, she's always finding a way to go fast. She was the early off on the track, and boy, did she fly. Perfect line. Sled never had any kind of variance. Gave a lot of time to the start, but she knew she had a good time down at the bottom. But Humphries and Lohouts, well, Kaylee Humphries last year did not get on a gold medal position in the World Cup Tour for the first time in 5 years, but she won in Altenburg going away, and today here in Königssee, she's got almost a 3/10 lead. She had the best start in the first run. She had the best drive down the track, and it seems like she's up to what she's done the last 5 years, which is win gold medals.
Double Olympic, double world champion Humphries back to her imperious best. Elfie Willemsen, a stunning drive to be in second place ahead of Jamie Grubel-Poser. Christina Hengster, Sandra Kroll, Anja Schneider, Heinz and the rest giving chase. We've got some tight battles in our field. And we have Misha McNeil back in the fold and a newcomer in Mariama Yamanka. There she is from Germany with Franziska Bertels behind her. So Yamanka 2 years in the sport. Bertels, a former Olympic break woman. And there is the alternate for Great Britain, Alicia Kiddle, warming up. So I'm not sure whether she's going in the second heat instead of Natalie de Rat, who was on the back of Misha McNeil's sled. Maria Constantin of Romania. And Sandra Kroll. And Elena Nolter. Everybody warming up on this big flat area outside the start house.
Sandra Kroll, she's from this area. Not a bad start in the first heat for her.
Ah, very quick. 4 fastest for them. And the Germans, for the first time, with 3 sleds in the field. None of them, however, in a medal position. It's Jamie Grubel-Poser. She and Kaylee Humphries, a first and a third each. They're tied, leading the points, but Humphries there has a substantial lead this weekend. Santa Kroll's fan club has flags of many nations down there as well.
You could see the Kreisel curve, the change of direction. Great picture.
Yeah. Our field go in reverse order of their first round performance. Katrin Beil of Austria will be first off, and Kaylee Humphries and Melissa Lottholtz will go to defend their lead at the end of the run. Well, sun's already dropped below the Wasatch Mountains around us, and so on a fresh spritz of ice, they spray this mist of water onto the track. It fills up any imperfections, and it's basically like taking a floor polisher down. It just makes the thing even faster. This track could be in record shape, as it was this morning for the women's skeleton race. For Austria, Katrin Beil and Karlene Slepper, first of our sleds off the hill. Started the first run in a 5.41 second getaway, 10th fastest.
Yeah, but watch the entry to this first curve. See if she gets it hard. Yep, see that? Kaylee Humphries went around there with no energy. Perfect, came in the middle part of the curve. You're going to see a lot of the inexperienced pilots like this rookie here lose a lot of energy in that entry of the first curve. And up, these speeds are slow. You can't make that type of mistake. Or can you make these?
Really skiddy down the straightaway. Bend away, as it's called by the North American teams.
And here comes the Kreisel, the extra Kreisel. It gets pretty tricky down here. Watch this back shot. Not bad for this rookie.
Looking right down there through the lower labyrinth.
Let's see if she can match her time. She had 51.75 in the first run. This is much better speed. She had 160, 51, 88, 1,300 slower than the first run. So that gives us an indicator that track might not be faster. We saw track record woman's skeleton at the top and at the bottom. Women's bob, we haven't seen those type of speeds.
No, not yet.
Look at the runner tips. This is the exit of the 4 S's, the snake pit, they call it. You know, a couple bumps is what you're allowed, but she's got the nose skidding, and so she's going to have 4 bumps and the skid across the ice, which, you know, you won't see too many sleds come down there clean.
Well, you're looking there at basically what's a straight. None of those little bends have a corner number.
So it's not straight, though.
Yeah, that's why the Americans and the Canadians called it a bend away instead of a straightaway. Too many bends in it. So there are your leaders. Next up, Maria Constantin of Romania, 10th spot after the first heat, and she is 12 hundredths away from moving ahead of Mariama Yamanka, our German rookie. Maria Constantin with Andrea Grecu, the 21-year-old brakewoman, back behind her this weekend after Grecu was driving one of Paul Niago's 2-man sleds as a forerunner. 3 or 4 sleds go down before every heat to check that the track is safe and the timing gear works. So Andrea Grecu already started her driving career.
Driving the FES Berlin sled, we've mentioned this, that's on loan from the German Federation. There's nobody else outside of Germany driving FES Berlin sled. Let's watch her entry to curve 1. Violent. That's not the way to do it. I can't believe the coaches aren't telling them. Get over on the right side, go to the middle part of that curve. It just takes too much energy off the initial start. Those are good lines there.
Watch when they get to the Kreisel. See where the 3 peaks of G-force are. There's 3 pressures. So here's the first, then it drips, then it comes back up, and then the third one. Just as you're trying to steer off.
Well, these are good lines. She's a good driver. She lacks at the start. Really good lines. G's and the Echo Von near the finish. Still get up there 4.5 G's. Pulling away as we go. 16
to 2/10 of a second. That's a good 51.74. Not quite as quick as her first heat either.
Just like her, the first sled down the Austrians, 10 or 1200 slower, but clean lines. You could see she's a very well-schooled, disciplined driver, but her nemesis is the 50-meter start. Look at the spike. See, the brakeman picks the sled up. When it picks the sled up like that, the nose goes in, you know, of the runner, and that causes more friction. They want you to explode out, not up. And watch the violent hitter. I mean, you don't want to do that. No. Look at the way the heads are moving and the body's slapping. You want to come into the middle part of that curve, and we will see some pilots go into the middle part correctly.
Yes, we will. And to bounce the brakewoman out of the seat, there's, as you can see, a lot of force there, throwing the sled up in the air, and up is not forward. Next up is our World Cup rookie, Mariama Yamanka, with the experienced Franziska Bertels behind her on the brakes. But Yamanka, only a couple of years in the sport, so much so that the German Federation website lists her date of birth as their total information about her. So Yamanka, fast track into this Germany 3 sled. Well, you can imagine the nerves. A lot of sliders talk about having the lights and the cameras and everything in their face the first time. And she was first off in heat 1 as well.
Not as bad an entry to curve 1 as we've seen in the previous 2 sleds. And the Germans have 11 women's teams who will compete. They were in the national championships next week here.
Could be a strong German women's program coming along. Whoa! Skids from Yamanka.
We expect to have 3 hits there and then bend away, but she had 5. But she's a World Cup rookie. Now into this doodles part of the track.
That's a great looking exit. That's how to do it.
It's pretty good.
Last element, just a little bump.
Watch the exit, the runner tips here. Little tap going uphill, so you can't have any kind of mistake going uphill here to the finish.
That's a big advance, 51.41.
So she went faster.
Yeah, she has 900
faster. Here's the coach, Christoph Langen, and he's not really a development guy. He wants the world, and he wants it now, and he wants his athletes to perform at high levels, and doesn't have a German on top of the podium yet. And he's certainly working on it. Look at the exit pictures here into the S curves or the snake pit. Pretty good, but she drifts to the left side of our screen, then hits more than once. Here's in the exit of Kreisel. This is a pretty good line here because she gets the height she needs to choose where her line is. Just to echo into this Kelstein curve, big sweeping left.
A little late on the transition, clipped the wall on the left, which he would prefer not to have done, but no, that was good looking exit off the Kreisel. There's Franziska Bertels, the
veteran
of
the
two.
She's the last Olympics with Sandra Kiriasis, you know.
Big smile from our leader, Mariama Yamanka. Next up, Misha McNeil from Consett County Durham and Natalie Durat from Sheffield. Nat was a brakewoman for Team USA last year, and she lives in, I'm going to say North Carolina, off the top of my head. It'll turn out to be South Carolina, in the Carolinas, let's say. But competing now for Great Britain. Didn't have a great synchronized to the hit in the first start. That's a little bit better. So they started 5:33, joint 5th quickest.
These are the two smallest. Look how low she gets in that sled. Let's watch the entry. She's on the right side. Not bad. Not as bad as the first two sleds, but still had some loss of energy.
She's about 5'4". Bruce Tasker, who's also driving this two-man sled this weekend, is about 6'4". So when they swap over in training, they have to put in different foot pegs so he can put his legs all the way down the footwell. He jumped in on his final training run. They were in the position for Misha McNeil. He was sat up on top of the seat while he was driving.
She's got 500s in the bank, and she's got to be perfect down here or she'll lose that time back. She's not in the lead now, does not have the speed.
Oh, a little brush on the wall. She did that in the first heat as well.
Late there, too.
Going to drop behind Mariama Yamanka by 900ths of a second.
51.62, so she went 2400 slower. So the young German Yamanka, look how low she is in that sled. Two of them.
Swiss-built Citius sled. Again, one of the rare non-Swiss.
The only sled that's going to be in the women's race and the two-man race. Yep. Here in the S's. This is some challenge. Being in the back of a four-man sled a few times myself through here, and it is quick and tight. You talk about a roller coaster ride, and then you have to hit the exit with a slingshot effect, and you need to have that slingshot effect to have any success.
Big figure moving the sled in the foreground there was Bruce Tasker, who'll be driving that sled in the men's race tomorrow. Next up, first of our two Belgian sleds, Anne van Nieuwenhuis. Mum and brother are here, family is here. Brother taking perhaps his last trip to a race before his wife gives birth. But Anne and Loos Hubrecht, the young development pairing for Belgium. New BTC sleds for both Belgian pairs this season. Anne, being the lighter of the two drivers, has the marginally heavier sled. It's only 6 kilos in it, but every ounce counts in this business.
That's the technique. Now a very good start in the first run. 5:49, 11th, worst start of the field. 5:51, watch her entry. Looks like she's on the right side.
Oh, but drifted over left.
A little bit left, too quick. Not as bad. She's a good driver. Good speed at the bottom in the first heat, but her nemesis is the start. Track and field backgrounds, both athletes. Excellent. Turbo drone, airborne. She crashed here in practice earlier in the week. She overcame that, and she revisited that mistake. 700s. It's best, second best speed.
How's she done that?
Well, she's got good eyes and hands. Look at her duck her head at the finish. Wow. A lot of confidence. She's a good little driver. Just needs a start time, a little bit more start time.
Well, she was 2 tenths ahead of Mariama Yamanka from the first heat, and she kept 1300ths of that in the second heat, but it was a little rocky down in the lower labyrinth.
She got beat by 2 tenths at the start.
Yeah.
Overcame the deficiency with some great driving. We've seen that out of her. She drifts a little high there. Now watch, she comes out on probably on the right side, should be in the middle a little bit more. Now watch the back end of the sled as the sled traverses here. She comes in here a little late, back end, airborne, and ooh, that's how she crashed in practice.
Yeah, got away with that by the skin of her teeth.
Couple inches.
Anne van Nieuwenhuis leads for Belgium with the first of our sleds down. And 6 still to come. 6 legs to go. 2 Germans in the top 6, but not at the top end of it. Anja Schneider-Heinze and Erline Nolte lie in 6th spot after the first of our 2 heats. 0.67 of a second away from the lead, and they're 2 tenths away from their teammates in 5th position. And that's a big gap to bridge. Big start from these 2, but not a great drive from Schneider.
Not a great drive into the first curve. Erline Nolte, she's lost 14, I don't know, pounds or kilos, but she's lost a lot of weight. She told me 14. Yeah, that's a little bit better, quite a bit better. Schneider-Heinze, just Snidey, as we call her, just hasn't found a way to have great drives down the track so far early in the year.
Little clatter off the S's out of the Schlangengrube. And then it multiplies itself down the track.
Speeds, G-forces is one thing, the speeds are another. Exit. Watch the back end of the sled here. Not bad. Lost a lot of her time back. She's down to 2 tenths.
That'll keep the speed on board and helps her to accelerate down through the final corner.
Uphill here. Now she's losing more time back. Doesn't have the same speed as she should have enough. Might be single digits. There it is.
Wow, when you see how far ahead she was and the way the Belgians whacked the wall in the labyrinth.
26 hundredths they beat the Dutch, or the Belgians, at the start. And only beat them by 10 at the bottom. Beat them by 50 hundredths in 2 heats.
Yeah.
It's not a great drive from Anja Schneider-Heinze.
Started 5:25 to 5:51.
You can see the body language here.
Yeah. She started half a second quicker, beg your pardon, a quarter of a second quicker, came down 300.
Left side of the screen, watch the sled tap. That's when you want to exit with speed. This is pretty good here, but she gets into a skid in this first tap. Look at Christoph Langen. Christoph, how was her run? He wears it all on his forehead, doesn't he?
Yep. He does.
She's not happy.
No. Doesn't often happen on this track that you can't see where the speed went. This is a really hard track to drive down. And although everybody says Altenburg is the fearsome one of the German trio that we use, this is still one that catches out a lot of athletes. What about the local hometown queen, Sandra Kroll and Franziska Fritz? Can they move up and challenge for a podium? The medals only 14 hundredths away after the first heat.
She was pretty impressive in the first run. Her drive lines were excellent. 4th best start, and they all said she couldn't start the sled. 5:30 start, 5:31 the first heat. Nice, quiet entry into curve 1. Boy, for her to beat Schneider-Heinze at the bottom. Schneider-Heinze is the German #1 pilot. But this is Sandra Kroll's home track, and those are some nice lines there. And even better right here, one more tap. Let's see how she maintains the line around what they call the turbo drone.
3 pressure cries on, and she's letting the sled.
Oh, is she flying?
Beautiful.
These are lines. This is a driver.
The crowd alongside us in the grandstands are all Bavarian fans. She's a Bavarian driver, and they're loving this.
This is so much better than her first run.
2 of these would have put it in absolute medal contention.
12.
Well, that's a 10th slower than her first heat, but that was a really good-looking run.
I'm just impressed with the way she beat up on her teammate, Anja Schneider-Heinze. Wow. They said she couldn't push the sled. Her 5:30 wasn't a bad start. Of course, she's got the pretty good brakeman behind her.
Beat Schneider by 2 tenths in the first heat, by 3 in the second.
Look at the runner tips. Are we seeing any steering here? This is normal to hit 3 times like this, but she did not alter one bit, not one skid.
Yep.
Here she made a little bit of a mistake, came out late here and went to the left side of our screen. Little tap there. That's worth 10 hundredths. Wow, she beat Schneider-Heinze.
Yeah.
It's only her 3rd World Cup event.
Beat her by half a second. It's her home track. She knows this better than any other, and she finally brought that out in the second heat. So Sandra Kroll, Franziska Fritz on the left. They are your race leaders. 4 to go. So are we going to get Germans in the medals? Well, to stop them, we have Austria, USA, Belgium, and Canada.
It's all within reach. This team had a little helter-skelter in the first heat at the start. Some mishap, technical mishap at the start.
Every mishap, everything not right on the sled that you can think of, apart from the fact that it did have runners on. .533 with her Sonia Monique Decker on the back. Track and field. 5:33 again. Watch the entry. Not bad. Yep. You'll see Kaylee Humphries come through like she did the first heat. Hardly used any of the ice. It was so smooth. That's why she's the leader. Hengster doing pretty good. Good exit. Just steers away from a big clout on the first tap.
Third and fifth for the first two runs of the year, or 2 races of the year.
Has the lead into the Kreisel. Can she keep it below? The exit is good. The exit
back in.
Very good.
Ooh, I don't know. The back end of that sled didn't have the same lines as Sandra Kroll. Speed is pretty good.
Could come down to a couple of hundreds.
Yeah, she looks good here. She looks like she'll be the leader.
Now, she's only 300s off the podium from the first heat.
107.
Sandra Kroll lost just one sled in the leader's box, and the Austrian coach is looking an awful lot happier than they were before the first run, when suddenly the team spotted all sorts of stuff not right with the sled.
Yeah, with the
starting handle wasn't out, something was wrong in the footwell.
Here, let's watch her lines. Now, she's hits, and she's got a little drift going. Not like Sandra Kroll's had the best line so far. Hence, watch the back end here. This wasn't the perfect line through the corner. Kalstein. Watch the back end here. The sled into the finish curve. Watch how high she gets in the takeout. This wasn't the optimum line to come through the finish curve. You're going uphill there, too, so you could throw away a lot of time.
It's going to cost you a 1/10 of a second.
Might cost her a medal.
Might do. However, she leads at the moment. Christina Hengster took a bronze medal in the first race this season in Altenburg, when Jamie Grubel-Poser was also in the bronze medal position. Alpha Willemsen was silver. Kaylee Humphries took the gold, and we have them in those same positions now. Lauren Gibbs behind Jamie Grubel-Poser. Gibbs rested last weekend, and she's now back behind the US driver.
Expect them to go a little quicker here. They had 5:24 in the first run. I expected both these two to be in the low 20s. Lauren Gibbs, power lifter.
Long legs of Gibbs. How did she become a powerlifter with legs like that?
5:24, exact same start. Watch her entry.
5.24.
Not bad.
Again, exactly the
Out
same
of there
time.
quickly, down to the S's. 1600s lead, but boy, you can throw that away quick. With a bad exit of this, the 4 S's we call snicked. 18, accelerated away. Ooh, same problem she had the first. This is not a good line.
Skidding, slows the sled down. In the Kreisel, she still has the lead.
She crashed here last year a number of times. Didn't have a good line in the first run. This is much better. Speed, 118, decent.
Excellent run from Jamie Grubel-Poser, keeping herself in the medal surely
Down to 13. Best speed, though, so she will be the leader. This will be at least a bronze medal for the United States. 50.97. Hengster can do no worse than 4. Still has a chance for a medal. But remember, Jamie Grubel-Poser, give her credit, crashed 3 times here last year, including in the second heat of the race, and overcame the Albatross and the Exeter Kreisel, 2 decent runs, and she could do no worse than a bronze. And you figure out that last week she won the gold in Winterberg. She's had a pretty good European swing. Little problems here down on the bend away. It's not straight down there. Best speed on the bottom in her BMW sled. Little tap there.
Barest to brushes with the wall, and that's what keeps the sled on board, and she was happy with that run. US teams, men and women, had a horrible time here last year. Humble and hungry, and fast.
Couple Ivy Leaguers, too.
Yep. So, Alpha Willemsen for Belgium. Second place after the first of our 2 heats. 2700ths off the lead. And she was only 600ths ahead of Jamie Grubel-Poser, who currently leads.
They're going to give up almost 1500ths to Grubel at the start. But this is the queen of speed. If anybody's got great lines in a bobsled track and women's bobsledding, this one here.
Okay. Class. Yep.
The Belgian bullets are off. Watch the line in the curve 5:38. That's better than their first run by 100. Look how quiet that was. There was no energy loss to take out of that first curve. She's down by 12. She'll probably go to 15 or 16 negative, and then she'll eat into that deficiency if she has good lines. That's not bad.
Great exit.
Does she tap? Does she touch everything? This is normal. Double tap, speed.
I talked to Tom Delahunty between the runs, and he said that he thought Elfa had such a clean run on the first heat. You can see why she's always at the top of the pile.
And even now, and she's
Another
looking at
great
these
exit.
lines. Watch the speed on the bottom. Queen of speed. This is what we call her. If she had a start time, I don't know if anybody touched her.
Yeah, 700 in the lead. This is enough to keep her in the medals, ahead of Jamie Grubel-Posch of the USA. 50.92, and that is the fastest run of the second heat with only one sled remaining.
Another silver medal for Alfie Williamson, who didn't start off great. Second place the first weekend, and then last weekend, 6th.
Yeah, little slump last weekend in Winterberg. They are happy with that. Back on the podium. And for Janis Skratstins, 3 BTC sleds in the top 4 again.
Athleticism to get in the sled. Watch the arms come together. They'll come up together. Get in, get down. The brakeman buries herself, Sophie, like there's nothing back there for the air to flow over the shoulders. Look at her eyes. I think she had 2 perfect drives down that track.
Just really, really flowing lines. So there's the Belgian fans. Left at 2:30 yesterday morning, got here at lunchtime. And now, Kaylee Humphries with Melissa Lotholtz. Kaylee with the new fully shaved left side of the head. Real racer's edge. And Melissa, second year with Kaylee. And these two just work so well together, John. And it's so vital at the start.
Best start in the competition, the first run, 5:20. I would expect them to equal or increase it. Tom Delahunty, the coach, said they would. And he didn't. He wasn't correct. Watch how quiet she is here. Not as the first heat. Of course, she drove masterfully in the first run. She had a huge 1,500ths advantage at the start on Alfie Williamson. And when you start like she does, drive like she does, she's got 5,300ths. It's an eternity of time on a short track, less than 50 seconds.
Half the men's field would like a time like this down the run tomorrow. This is a really nice drive from Kaylee. Just threads the eye of the needle beautifully.
Making it look like sliced bread.
She is back to her very best.
Second best speed, wow. When you got the best start and you're up the best driver, one of the best drivers in the field, it'll be pretty tough to beat her. Of course, Alana Myers not here. Alana Myers has always been challenging Kaylee the last couple of years, but Alana home. I'm sure watching the broadcast. Goggles. Not many athletes can still drive it with goggles. Old school, and it works.
That's the influence of former coach Pierre Luders. And how much he influenced her driving skill, I don't know. I think this girl has just got it. So, messages back home. The athletes will be heading home in a day or two for Christmas, New Year break, or a short break. I know a lot of them will be going straight to the track in Whistler for more mid-season break training. There's Melissa Lotholtz, Kaylee Humphries.
Just another day at the office for the Olympic champion, the double Olympic champion, double world champion, World Cup title holder. She's got a lot of hardware in this sport.
She does.
Very disciplined at everything she does in the sport. Last year was a little soft year for her. Didn't get on the podium in a gold medal position. She's already got 2 out of 3 so far. Ducks her head at the end for aerodynamics, and she ran away with over a half-second lead on a short track.
So 3 German tracks to start the season. Kaylee Humphries never yet off the podium. Alpha Willemsen taking the silver here. Jamie Grubel-Poser the bronze. Christina Hengster in 4th place ahead of Sandra Kroll and Anja Schneider-Heinze. So the Germans again out of the medals on another German track. German women's bobsledding yet to claim a medal of any colour this season.
I'm sure the Germans are going to reassess the start time. The only one with a start time is Schneider-Heinze, and she had the 3rd best start of that run.
Yeah, Sandra Kroll 4th fastest. I mean, they're not far away. 700ths away, Sandra from Kaylee at the top.
But she's 70 hundredths.
Yeah.
70 hundredths out of a medal on a German track.
Well, so Sandra Kroll in 5th place. Let's just analyse her. She starts 700 slower than Kaylee, so that's 1400s given away at the start. Over 2 runs, she's 9/10 of a second back.
Yeah.
It's not just the start.
No, it's driving and the German equipment.
Yeah.
I don't know, but they're you know, the German men on the other side of the spectrum. They're way better.
Alpha Willemsen gives away 1500s in every start, and yet she's 2nd.
Yeah,
and the best German sled is 5th.
She gave away 2800s, or she gave 3100s away to, no more than that. She gave 30 away to Kaylee, which should be 90 hundredths at the bottom, and only lost by 5300. She had the best speed in the bottom in both runs.
Yep.
And, you know, Elfie, everybody knows, and she's in that brand new sled. So once she finally figures all of the angles out.
Yep. Well, Kaylee's sled again has changed. They've got axles on it since last weekend from the Eurotech sleds that they had, which are lighter. And this weekend she's gone back to the narrow front runners as well. Almost every other woman in the field is doing what the men do, 4.2, 4.5 mil runners on the back, but going for the fat front, 6.2, 6.4 mil. Kaylee did that last week. She's gone back to the narrower front runners because it gives her better feel, and she wins again. Lights on, evening in Königssee, Bavaria. The first European trail comes to an end in women's bobsleigh World Cup action. Kaylee Humphries, 2 wins and a bronze medal, leads our World Cup standings as they head into the Christmas break from Jamie Grubel-Poser and Alpha Willemsen. Next 3 tracks are in North America, home ground, if you like, for Humphries and for Grubel-Poser. You can only see them accelerating away from the rest of the field before we get back to Europe and the run-in to the World Championships. And it was another top-draw performance from Kaylee Humphries. Melissa Lottholz outstarted everybody and outdrove everybody. It's everything. This is a team sport and everything has to work. And right now, for Humphries, everything is working.
She didn't have the best starts last year, so she hung around 3rd, 4th, 5th place. But this year, she's got great starts, and she's a great driver.
So there is your podium. Kaylee with the cowboy belt holding up the ski pants. And there you go, John, for you, the Queens of Speed, wearing their crowns. The silver medalist from Belgium. And on the right, the bronze medalists from the USA. So more podiums for Humphries, more podiums for Jamie Grubel-Poser,
and the Belgian
more podiums for Alpha Willemsen.
No Germans on a German track.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Not even 4th. That was Christina Hengster of Austria again. And the best German in 5th position. Best German in the World Cup rankings, also in 5th position. So Kaylee Humphries leaves Europe with the points lead over Jamie Grubel-Poser. Next race for them, Lake Placid, Jamie's home ice. We'll see you after Christmas for more women's bobsleigh action. Until then, from John Morgan, Martin Haven and the IBSF TV crew, it's Auf Wiedersehen and goodbye from Bavaria.